Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Melena Landrio, and I want to thank everyone for sharing space with me today. I'm just going to jump into my channeled message. It's a bit of a download, and please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if it resonates with you. I'm going to commence into a collective reading from this. The energy is feeling very stagnant, jumping into it, and also a little bit fearful. So and of course, as soon as I start these readings, it's like my throat starts to dry up, get coarser, which is always fascinating to me because it just seems like a little message that I'm going to be sharing. And I guess for somebody it's not so little. So somebody might be experiencing, on the flip side of this message, stagnation from the truth of this coming out. Hence why the throat chakra gets attacked. So you might be experiencing this as well. Maybe you're speaking out something and it's affecting your throat chakra. You might be even receiving a form of spiritual interference in the way of perhaps attacking. And this could be experienced as like what feels like you might be coming down with a cold. Maybe you have more congestion or a little tickle in your throat, maybe a cough for a day and then it goes away, it subsides. Something like that could be of significance in regards to this experience of stagnation and a little bit of fear in the underbelly of it. And it's like my solar plexus all of a sudden was just like, it's almost like, oh my God, if this gets out, the shame of it is how it kind of feels. So I don't know what that means. We'll find out jumping into this. But there's somebody experiencing that type of reception. Why am I saying that word? Is that even the right word to say? Something about a reception. So for those of you who are trying to figure out what it is that I do, I channel while I'm reading. Sometimes I get downloads while I'm in the middle of saying things. I also am a medium. I hear messages from spirit. I work with the angels. I work with my spirit team. I work with the divine. And so I receive these messages and downloads, and while I am communicating them through this reading with you in the form of a channeled download that I received prior, this particular one I got at the end of November. I'm playing a bit of catch up. For some of you who may not have seen me in a while, I was off for a couple weeks. Just with my computer was down and little instances came first, But yeah, so this is the energy that's coming in. Some form of fear about this message coming out. Some form of stagnation. Feels like, and it's something to do with the throat chakra. It just feels like slowing down, like you're trying to get ahead and someone's trying to slow you down, pull you back. I'm even feeling it in my limbs. So this could be significant for some of you. You might be experiencing this. I feel like some of you might have had like some congestion, but you weren't sick. And, maybe even headaches or migraines, like ocular migraines in particular. If you're somebody who experiences those, it's, or maybe you don't know, it's a light sensitivity experience that you get in the peripheral of your vision. And it could be it could be experienced in the form of what seems to appear like little, it feels like a psychedelic trip in a way. I don't really know what one feels like, but just from what you see on movies, It's like you see these little lines that come around your peripheral and little dots of light, and it's very distracting, and you can't look at screens anymore. The light affects you greatly, so your vision is greatly affected, and you just need to go close your eyes and have a nap, because there's not much more you can do. You might be also tired from not sleeping very well, and that's also present, I believe, in this channel, which I'm going to commence in reading in just a moment. But yeah, the energy feels very slow, like molasses. It's very lethargic. There's a fear-based experience, and somebody is experiencing fear from these messages, as well as some form of stagnation, which is like the molasses. So they're either trying to slow you down. I think it's kind of like a mirror reflection. There's also a lot of number sequences that I've been seeing, which are mirror reflections, like when you see 212 or like 345 and sorry, not 345. 345 could be significant though. Why did I say 345? Sometimes you see a 2 like 205, and if you were to bend the 5 back to the 2, they would fit. So that could be a mirroring energy, or just the same sequence, like a sequence of numbers where it starts with one number and ends with the same beginning number. This is relevant in this case. I'm just going to jump into the channel now. I feel like I could ramble, and I feel like there's lots of stuff coming in, which I find fascinating, because entering into this like review of the channel that I wrote out, I was feeling like, oh, I feel like this might be a boring, I'm not really sure where this is going to go. It feels kind of boring. It feels kind of lulling, this energy. But then as I started to come close to pressing record, the energy got very animated, in the form of stagnation, in the form of fear, in the form of the throat chakra. So there's something here, and there's something about static electricity as well. Anyway, let's get into it. So this is, again, I'm playing catch up. It's this is coming from November the 28th. Today is December the 6th, but that doesn't really matter. You're going to get this message. It's going to resonate if it resonates. Okay, guys? Again, don't make this fit. If this does not resonate with you, if this is not jiving, please don't take it on as your own. As always, there's no need to add any extra drama into the mix of our lives, okay? So 1 a.m., I received awareness about a car idling outside. So you might have spirit bringing into your awareness idling cars, as well as cars slowly passing by your space or your home, wherever you're occupying. You may have noticed cars passing by day or night very slowly, or just some unusually odd behavior for those particular times of days or nights. Also, there's an energy of fighting something that is not there. And as I say that, my rabbit jumps into his cage. So there's an energy of fighting something that's not there. It's not relevant, but there's this need and want to do it. So that could be relevant for some of you, as well as deciphering. As I deciphered that energy further, it was almost like a shuffling of thoughts or distortion, thoughts and distortion, some chaos, even disconnection was really apparent. So when this occurs with myself, I always revoke and rebuke these energies in the name of God. So this might be something that you may need to do, clearing your space, clearing your energy, and having a conversation with God to understand what's going on around you. It's prevalent. And this energy of fighting also comes alongside this simultaneously with like other impacts that are trying to cause further discord. I felt like it was targeting one's sensory experience or perception. Again, the ocular migraines came up just before I jumped into this channel, as a reflection point for all of you in case you're experiencing these. So if that's you, if that resonated with you, then this might resonate with you as well. Like where you feel like, you're not really like somebody could be attacking. What it feels like is somebody is trying to create discord regarding your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. And this could be also in alignment with all of your chakras. So your crown and third eye chakra, the way that you perceive spirit, the way that you connect with God. And this part of the message is for someone who is directly connected to our beloved, the Most High. You have a good connection with God, or even just source energy. You have a strong connection with the divine, and you're experiencing these types of symptoms, like I mentioned before, in regards to perception. So like if this is resonating, you are someone with abilities, you have good intuition, you are noticing a lull in your usual homeostasis, or even this discard of your gifts completely, which is very unusual for you as well. It's like just shuffling off your intuition. And it's interesting that I said shuffling at that point when I was channeling, because I meant to say shoving off your intuition. It's like it's not necessary. It's almost like you would use your intuition to gauge the energy of something, whether you want to make a choice to do it or not. And it came to a point where it was like, nah, I don't need this to decipher X, Y, and Z. I'm just going to guess it or avoid it altogether. And it was like almost this, it was the shuffling part of it is like this shuffling energy. It was very present in that experience. Almost like I want to just say it was almost like somebody was like taking a deck of cards and just going, stop, don't do it. Like you hear creativity, 8 of discs, fascinating. Just shuffling through and choosing like, oh, I won't use this one that's going to cause me some failure today. Instead, I'm going to use this one and think it's success. It's like trying to distort the way that you perceive the reality that's around you. I hope that makes sense. That's the best way that I can, excuse me, try to explain it. And this is also something to do with the encompassment of joy. It's choosing one over another. And this could heavily be coming up for all of you at this time of year, especially with the holidays being upon us, Christmas around the corner, all these beautiful celebrations that we have where we gather with friends and family. It's like opportunities to visit with loved ones, family members, or if you're in my position, perhaps the opportunity to say no to the toxicity because you may hail from a toxic environment. And your choice in its participation is of value to your space of joy. Or at this point, the lack of invite perhaps is welcomed at this point because too much was done. There's no turning back sometimes on the behaviors that we contribute to our world or the way we have behaved. Sometimes it's irreparable. And that doesn't mean that you are disregarding or being overly sensitive when it comes to the situations at hand. It's just you're standing your ground and holding your peace is a very valid space to want to be in, and it is worthy of fighting for. And at this point of the channel, 108 was very apparent, so that could be significant. Also, what came up was disturbances within the structure of your home. So for instance, if this resonates with you as an example, getting rest is more difficult than one could imagine, especially undergoing spiritual warfare, or you have a lot of projection, black magic being casted your way. So if this is you, if this part of the message is resonating for you, you're going to be very aware of projections and very aware of black magic or witchcraft or what have you. You're going to be very aware of something that has been casted your way. This is not like, oh, I wonder if that's what's happening. You're going to have an awareness of it because you're somebody who is connected. You're not trying to figure out your gifts. You have gifts. And this experience feels like there could be a multitude of people contributing. It's like extremely overwhelming in this energy, the amount of busyness. And it's felt like one thing after another. So interfering with various spaces of your life. And again, this is something to do with your joy. And this is disturbing the structure of your home, okay? You wanting to embrace joy. And not only is it interrupting that encompassment, it's interrupting the base foundation of your life. And I feel like these spaces that are being interfered with are the basic necessities. So when this interference comes in to intrude, it's intruding in the peace and joy that you are trying to keep in your life. It's impeding on the rest that you require. It's impeding on having peace while eating your food with your family. It's or having quiet time becomes not so quiet. It's like all these little interferences simultaneously coming in during pivotal moments that would create some form of solitude, peace, some sort of ability to refine your connection with self, with God, with the divine. 110 on my timer, and the awareness that 111 was right around the corner. Like I remember looking at the time at this point in my message, and it was 110, and I thought, oh, it's about to be 111. You're protected, is what that tells me. But then I looked up 110 earlier. I didn't bother writing it out. If you want to look it up, I noticed this interesting feature on I guess maybe it's Google I was on. I Googled 110 and just quickly to get the gauge. I remember something about change, right? Moving into something new, finishing a cycle. There's a lot of implications on it, but the one thing that really illuminated, and this has come up a few times in some of the readings over the past year, is the word like cardinal. And this could be like I believe it's like I mean, I could think of the red bird, the cardinal, but I don't think this is what it's implying. It's something to do with the cardinal and the many what's the word? I think it was like a numerical quality or quantity. It's more about the quantity. But not in order or something. If you want to look it up, you can look it up. Anyways, it was something that kind of stood out to me for whatever reason. So this might be significant, maybe for some of you in whatever way that it shapes. I don't know why it stood out to me. So it must mean something to somebody here. And I do remember the cardinal coming up quite a bit in some of the readings, or just being illuminated to me, like some sort of religious type of structure to it as well. Anywho, let me see here. Yeah, so it was 110 on my timer, and then that awareness was that 111 was around the corner, that you were protected. So something's coming up around the corner, something in numbers, something to do with in numbers, and the cardinal also representing to me, maybe to you as well, and maybe it's genetically what everybody tends to think of, but I think of my ancestors when I'm visited by the cardinals. And so it just tells me that you have ancestor protection, and I feel like you know this. And this is to say that good things are coming. There are big changes coming in, and you could almost smell it in the air. Like you could feel it coming. And you can't underestimate the power of the inevitable of who you are standing in your power. So you are somebody who has stepped into a position of power in your life, regardless of whether that is a title for a job, within a structure. It is you standing in the authentic power of who you are, the innate abilities that you hold within your vessel because of who you are. And you're somebody that a large portion of people have had misconceptions about. And this is on multitude layers and levels. And this is what's coming up and in my understanding during this channel is a large misconception. And this is that has been had about you. And this is going to be cleared up. There is no more room for questioning it. And there's going to be made room now for the understanding that no questions were ever had. So you may have had a lot of people judging you and listening to stories about you or perceptions about you based on fictitious storytelling. And so this is relevant for some watching because this energy feels guilty in composition. And a need to own up to something by coming clean. At that point, it was 911 on my timer. Somebody's continuing to pretend that nothing has happened. They're projecting, or their projections created a facade about you guys and you, my collective. And this huge dismissal of the truth that someone played a part in someone's life, creating an experience in discord to cause pain and suffering to someone's space and time. And this could be currently, this could be past, this could be future in regards to the time cycles where it may have laid or lay. Cycles in nature that propel into each other and dependent on the direction is relevant. So if this is resonating with you, you're going to know the relevancy of that. A complete dismissal of one's behavior and ownership of it towards another, simultaneously vindictively acting with purpose, and the underlining value of it was all was erratic, it was unnecessary, and it was unjust. Also, an illumination in the implementation of this forward movement to continue this propelling energy of the past. And it's interesting, is it's like somebody, this is being illuminated or has been illuminated or is going to be illuminated, is that someone keeps implementing the same things, like this past energy that maybe you once absorbed on somebody, on you. Someone is trying to implement it onto you, but you're just not in that energy anymore. It's like you've grown, you've evolved away from this shitty time space that you once were a part of for whatever reasoning. That you've since awoken. It's like I'm seeing the World card and it's entering into the Fool card. It's like you've gone through this whole cycle and you've now closed it and you've entered into the Fool. And I suspect that you've been into this journey of the Fool for this new beginning. Was cultivated, was what, like the seed was cultivated during that shitty time space, and you've planted it, and now you're entering in this new beginning that was created out of a circumstance that was placed to stagnate you, but instead you thrive and you broke through all the barriers of it. And at that point in my channel, I heard wild card. Nobody expected you to pull through all of whatever was dished out to you. And someone just doesn't understand the concept of growth. It's like they're contained in this little space. They might change some things around within the space, but it's ultimately still a little space. And they're not seeing the bigger picture. They cannot see outside of the space they have been enduring within. Because there's no reflection. There's no reflection to move out of that space, or even in the understanding of the harm that could have been contributed because they couldn't see past the little space that they dwelled within. It's very greedy energy. And 1123 could be of significance. I also was seeing 1234 and 11 and 29 on my timer. So those numbers could be all significant. If you want to look them up, by all means, guys, go ahead. Then it was 5:48, and I heard the song. Well, I heard the particular lyric of the song. Keep away from a runaround Sue. Hip, hip, bop-a-dibba-dibba, hip, hip. Keep away from a runaround Sue. And then I remember when I lost my mind. And it was 7:28. So that's the channel that came in. So we're going to go into this and pull some cards on what all of this is, or the collective energy on what needs to come out in regards to these channels. I'm just going to ensure that my cards are the right way up. I was just holding them upside down. All right, so I do hope everybody is doing well. And if this is resonating for you, I hope that this message leads into something beneficial to you to understand, or just even confirmation. I feel there's a lot of confirmations that are going to come in from this. Maybe even a little aha moment, or a little, I didn't think of it that way. Perception may also illuminate, is what I'm understanding. So we're going to go ahead and tap into this energy of fighting. We're going to tap into this disruption of perception. This need to choose the peace over the disrespect, and the disturbance within the structure of our home, within our foundations, the spiritual warfare, and the large misconception on the multitude of layers and levels that has come out or is about to come out. So let's just talk about this. The reason why too many jump to conclusions without questioning all sides of our collective. Change in reverse. Two of discs. What's influencing this two of discs, please? I said dicks, and I was just urged to repeat that, so I guess that's significant. Sorry. Could be a body part, could be someone's being a dick. Oh my gosh. Spirit guides are pretty funny. Okay. What's influencing this two of discs, please? Ace of Swords. So with the two of discs, I'm just gonna bring this up close so you guys can see. Two of discs, it says change behind its discs. I feel like some watch me and don't really understand maybe tarot readings. They just like to watch the information, and they might be interested in this but may not quite understand it. So I'm reading the cards out, and there's a meaning for each card. In every positioning is a meaning as well. So in this current position here, which is being influenced by this Ace of Swords, this Two of Discs is in the reverse. So this is about somebody's finances. This is their understanding of money, or the concept of money. And they're not able to handle their finances well. They may be experiencing some form of stress, or experiencing perhaps even depression, because of this lack mindset in regards to understanding how to figure out their handling of money. And I feel like they're kind of being placed in a corner, because this is about a consciousness expanding, the Ace of Swords, and it's influencing this. So somebody's consciousness, their awareness, it's illuminating that they may lack in skills. They may be lacking in an area that cultivates money, likely because this is all about money and how they handle their finances. And the Ace of Swords is essentially cultivating new consciousnesses, or the expansion of consciousness. So something could have come into fruition for somebody where they have this understanding, this aha moment, that maybe where their intellectual interests were focused, there may be a need to adopt more reasonable decisions in regards to their finances. Maybe they're not facing it, whatever this circumstance is, in the right way. So there's some form of truth that's illuminating or expanding that this person is stuck. Like they have they have a lack mindset in regards to how they make money. Maybe they're limited in how they make money. Maybe they don't have a lot of skills that they've cultivated throughout their life, which is giving them a lot of closed doors, right? A lot of lack in regards. It just feels very stagnant, very slow. It's like there's this disruption. The slowness of the molasses, like I said at the beginning, could also be the depression that's sinking in. So somebody could be experiencing a lack of finances because of how they entertained treating you, collective. Like you may have had somebody in your life who is now coming up into this type of experience where they're being met with the truth of what everything has been that they have cultivated up to this point, because this is a current position. This current position came from somewhere, and we're going to dive into that very soon. We're going to pull the next card, which is just flew out. This is the goal destiny position. This is about the Three of Wands. And when I look at this card, and this is about the destiny, just the way I'm seeing this, it's almost like this flashpoint of consciousness here with the Ace of Swords has really illuminated this understanding that I feel got closed off at some point. So this could be you, collective. This could be you. This could be how somebody's viewing you, or they're viewing their actions of the past that they thought would push them into this virtuous, like they've been confident, they were successful. There was this life force, resilience within them in whatever it was that they were doing. But this current situation here is illuminating this consciousness here that maybe whatever they thought was virtuous was actually virtuous for you, collective. There's some sort of development here in regards or retrospect, and it's a mirroring. Remember I was saying mirroring imagery at the beginning of this reading. There's something with mirroring numbers that just kept coming up in sequences. And also, like, sorry, my throat. Somebody does not want me to talk about this. 1123 was also apparent. And 1, 2, 3, 4, if you add those numbers up, I believe it is it 10? Yeah, it's 10. Excuse me. So this is somebody, this is the future energy of this, or sorry, the goal and destiny was to be confident and virtuous, successful. Some form of life force was supposed to be gained here, but the current circumstance is not in gain, it's in lack. So we're going to check in what happened in the past here. What happened in the past to create this Two of Discs in the reverse, influenced by this new consciousness that's expanding. What happened in the past? Oh, that's too many. Thank you, but that's too many. I do feel like maybe they're relevant. Yeah, they are probably very relevant, but I'm just going to ask for one card. In this group, though, we have the Queen of Cups, we have an Ace of Cups, the Hierophant ending in the lineup. There's the Aeon, as well as a Ten of Swords. I feel like the Ten of Swords is likely something that occurred, but we'll let it come out again. Okay, one card, please. What happened in the past? Every time I say that's not relevant, when that many cards pops out, it is relevant. But I don't want to take that many cards. Just one card, please. This came out sideways, so I might adjust the reading point as we go, depending on how this feels with the energy. But in the past, I feel like there was a thought of success here. Can you read this? Can you guys see this? I hope you can see it. I know I have a limited perception with this video camera. I got to figure this out. Anywho. So with the Six of Discs, it's about success. And I think the Three of Wands definitely expresses that they felt that they were going to be virtuous. They felt that they were going to be successful. They were very confident in their steps moving forward. However, I'm not so sure that's what this is going to be in regards to just the positioning of it, because of where this standpoint starts. But in the past, they felt, or this person felt, they were going to be successful against you. They created some form of power increase in their life, some form of climbing. They tried to gain some form of material favorability and some form of interaction or development in regards to making a power move, creating abundance, some sort of increase in their stature is how this feels as well. We're going to, let's maybe clarify some of these a little bit too. Let's do some clarifiers for the Six of Discs. Clarify the Six of Discs, please. In this past positioning, clarify it. I just slurred my word positioning. I notice I've done this a couple of times in the reading. Somebody could be drinking a lot. Like drinking to the point that they're slurring their words. My mouth is also very dry all of a sudden. So that could also be relevant. Maybe somebody is partaking in smoking the wacky tobacco, creating a very dry mouth. So we got the Devil in reverse. So this signifies is some form of control. In this particular deck, it's this Six of Discs is the monument of creating some form of independence for somebody. I feel like it's all a perception. I feel just looking at the Three of Wands, there's something about the appearance of how one, like, just what I'm getting. It's like, it's something about how one is perceived in the world. They want to be perceived. They want everybody to look at them in a certain way, and this way doesn't actually match their actual life. It's this facade, and I do believe that energy came up in the channel as well. I think I spoke about a facade. That sounds like it's resonating to me. Anywho, we're not going to go back into that. This person is creating some sort of facade. They're creating some form of delusion in regards to what success and confidence is for them. And they're trying to gain some form of control. Actively right now trying to regain some form of control. So this feels kind of out of control. There's a fear in regards to it. There's a stagnation. There's some form of experience in regards to this change here, this Two of Discs, that is implementing this experience of out of control. And this is not something that this person is wanting to embody, because I feel like they've worked really hard to have control over whatever this element is, whatever this is that they did to you. So somebody may have had some form of control in your lives, guys, where they distorted, they created some form of a lie. Remember, there is a large scale of misunderstanding or based on people jumping to the conclusions of what they were told rather than looking at the all sides of a story. So you had a lot of people believing this person over you, and now there's an adjustment here. They are now met with, maybe karma is coming into play in regards to their actions of the past. So we're going to see what's recently come up that's implementing this Ace of Swords confidence, consciousness to illuminate this understanding in their lives. Another sideways card. So the Six of Discs came in sideways from the left. So for me, that is about some sort of feminine energy in regards to it. So there could be some form of sway for this particular individual of the past to do with a feminine energy. So this could be place it where it fits. You could be the feminine, or you could be a masculine, and this would be the opposite type of energy. But I'm gathering that you are perhaps maybe a feminine, or you're somebody who embodies feminine energies, or this could be something to do with this person's maternal lineage, the maternal side of their family. In regards to I feel like this is something to do with nurturing a component from the past, perhaps like a trauma bond, some form of experience from the childhood that's emanating from the maternal lineage side here, that's resulting in this need to control, regain control in this person's life. Now, if you look here, this card here came in sideways from my right. So this is a masculine dominated energy. I'm going to take it in the upright, but it could be reversed, as I said, but the same for this one because they came out sideways, dependent on how this goes. Now, when they come in sideways, for me, the way I tend to take them, not always, but sometimes, and how I'm feeling guided to today, is just to understand that there is a mirroring imagery in regards to this this reading today. There's a lot of mirroring energies. It's like what was done on one side of the mirror is now cascading to the other side of the mirror. And it's not necessarily like mirrors are perceptions, right? And the perception of a mirror is always skewed. It's not perfect. It's just a perception that we see ourselves through a mirror. It's not the reality of how we are actually seen through other people's eyes, or like through the eyes of God, right? We have a perception that we entertain to create this understanding of what we're experiencing, what we're seeing. So these two cards could be reflective in that nature. So if it comes up, I'll express it. But the Princess of Swords being underneath the consciousness here, this could very well be a young person, like this could be representing of maybe your parent. Maybe this is a child. This could be representing if it is a child for you, if your circumstances resonate that this could be a child, this could be representing it's a Princess of Swords, so a feminine energy, so a daughter, somebody who's clever, they're knowledgeable, smart, they have a lot of clarity, they're very witty. That could be the representation of someone's daughter that's coming up. It's illuminating as an aspect for some of you. This is also an understanding that someone will not tolerate this, and there's like a revengeful tone to it. It's like whatever this consciousness is that has expanded the need to adopt a reasonable decision. And I feel like that this need to adopt a reasonable decision is being fought. It's not necessarily being embraced. And this card here is telling me that it's a hard tug of war for this person that came up against you, because they're in regret, and they're trying to place that mirroring regret onto you because they don't want to own it. That came up in the channel. It's somebody not wanting to own their behavior. So somebody did something to you where they don't want to own this behavior, and instead of owning it, they're just not going to tolerate you anymore. It's like they're going to destroy you. They're coming at you with all guns a-blazing. And they believe that they have enough strength to take this revenge and hurt you because of the situation. And this could even be a situation that has to do with having children. They could be utilizing your child or your children against you in some way, shape, or form to try to elevate themselves in some way, shape, or form in regards to looking successful, looking like they're the part, trying to create this virtuous, successful confident destiny. That's what appearing to be coming out here. So let's see, where is this future energy going? Cycle's been completed. This has already been done and dusted. I'm kind of laughing at this energy here. As I said, done and dusted. It's like this has already been done, right? This is a completion. The matter, whatever has happened here has already been done, and now it's taking shape. Okay, so whatever was done in the past that's created this current circumstance. This is this Six of Discs card, which is all about trying to create power, some sort of material gain, an interaction that's favorable, some sort of development that's favorable. There's something sneaky that has been done in the dark, and this is to do with this devil in reverse energy. And the devil in reverse has everything to do with regaining control, standing out in their independence, free from any limitations. So just trying to be their own power while regaining control over you. And then we have this Princess of Discs energy, which is I'm coming at you from all angles. This is not over, but this Four of Wands energy is kind of saying it is. The matter has already taken shape. Do you notice I just tripped on my tongue again? So yeah, I feel like someone's drinking heavily. Anyways, the order and harmony is all about this card here. So it's like a cycle and the order of the events that have taken place. So all of the events that have taken place are coming around in a cycle. It's a cyclic nature. And you can't always think that you're going to have the virtuous experience in a cycle always. For everything that comes up in one's life also has to come down, right? This is just the cycle of life. And depending on your actions and the truth of them, like the authenticity of them, the embodiment of value and morals in regards to whatever the circumstance is in one's life, and how they project themselves in that is what's going to come back around. So if you're somebody who has been very authentic, you've been honest, you've been doing your best, playing your part, not trying to hurt anybody, outside of your sphere of understanding, like there's no malevolency, then you're on the up and up. The cycle should be coming around for you to be gaining something, right? Now, but if you're somebody who's been lying and charging and contorting the truth of things and trying to gain some sort of material affair off somebody, trying to gain some sort of control by making somebody look a certain way, that's also going to be the cycle that's going to be coming around, right? And that's what this here in this deck is all about. It's about this matter is already taking shape, and it's like it also, like, everything that has the beginning has an end, and we're always free to start again. So even though maybe we fucked up in the past, we could always start again by owning what we've done and start fresh, right? Or we could continue with that cycle of inauthenticity, trying to create some form of development for ourselves. And there's a greedy nature to this, right? In the channel, something greedy was going on in regards to some form of power control. So this makes a lot of sense to me that these cards are coming up in regards to this channel. But this is also about income. Like this what I'm kind of chuckling at, that I'm failing to get to as quickly as I would have liked, is there's like this, it's almost like there's a bit of a profession and also a personal relationship in regards to this. It's like somebody looked at somebody as a source of income, as a profession, like going out and deliberately picking and choosing dynamics that will suit their ideas of success, of victory, of material gain. And this card is kind of emphasizing that there's some sort of income distribution, this fee for the work performed, almost like entering into this job. I'll have to do some work to get this pay, but it's going to benefit me. It kind of feels like that, but it also feels like it's a personal relationship where there's this maybe this fictitious expression that there's some sort of harmony going on in this union, that there's been conflict resolution, or like some sort of enriching meeting or connection, that's creating some sort of healthy development. It's like this whatever this is, this energy that's creating this, whoever is obtaining this energy at this time, it's like they're in this mindset, this delusional mindset of things are good and harmonious between you and them. But it's not. It's never been. It's delusional. It's kind of not, something's not right with the way that they're perceiving and understanding the whole experience. Maybe a way to it's like this perception of how they look to others is really at the forefront, especially with the six of discard and the devil in reverse. It's like cultivating all these lies to create some form of distortion for somebody, but the thing is that the cycle is done. So what they're not understanding is that whatever has been done in the dark is now coming into light, I think is what this is trying to implement. Now let's see here what's going on with the current. We have the Hierophants. With somebody who has a lot of knowledge. They're very confident. They search for the truth. I feel like this is somebody who's very, so this is, I feel like you collective. I feel like this is you. You're somebody, because you're connected, you have faith in God. Whoever this message is for, you have faith in God. And you have had an expansion of your consciousness. You've changed. There's a lot of change in the structure of this energy. It's like you may have been one way at some point of time in your life. We all have, right? We all have pasts where we weren't always on the up and up, right? We're living in this 3D world, the devil's playground. It's like, it's hard to, depending on where you hail from, right? Like if you're somebody who comes from a toxic background, you might go through toxicity a bit before you realize the true nature of your soul. And this is what this card is express again with the slurring. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is what this is. It's with this expression, right? It's this expansion of consciousness, and it's in the strength of conviction. And there's an understanding of what has been, but the approach of how this person who's in the Two of Discs versus how you approach something are very different. Like two different species of people is how this feels. It's like you've been through a lot. You understand a lot because you've been through a lot. You've gained your wisdom. You've matured through the experiences that you've had. This is what this card is kind of based upon, right? It's somebody who's knowledgeable because they have learned to use their knowledge and awareness within their own life, but it's not just for themselves. They use it also for the good of others. And you have a deep trust and confidence within yourself. You've learned to, what's the word? You've learned to embody this. You had to learn to embody, to trust yourself, because you were taught to likely not trust your intuition, not trust to be confident in who you are, not to be harmonious within yourself, especially if you've come from a toxic background. And that's what I feel like this energy is. But you've overcome all of this. You've had leaps, bounds, and like you've jumped leaps and bounds out of that type of experience because it just wasn't suiting you. I know for myself, when I went through my past where I had very little direction from the adults in my life. I had a very sick father who really wasn't present, and mother who wasn't present at all. And you just go out and you do your own thing, and nobody really cared. And I got into a lot of discord, a lot of disarray because of it. And I learned a lot of really hard lessons really early because of it. And there's only so many times you can go through a cycle like that. Like, even if you've gone through it like 100 times, a cycle where you hit rock bottom and you have to start again, you always will come to this point. There's going to be a pivotal point in your life where you're going to come and you're going to have the realization that you keep going to the same thing. You keep doing the same thing, and it's getting you nowhere but pain. So for me, it made sense to change the direction of what I was doing. And it was to try to heal my life and try to figure out what I was healing from, because I was raised in a lot of toxicity. It was and a lot of gaslighting and manipulation towards my experience of who I am was really difficult for me growing up to learn to reveal the true me. It was like peeling off all these layers and levels of an onion of other people's bullshit placed on me because nobody wanted to see me for who I was. It was like, oh no, you're not intuitive. You just saw something and you just made a lie, made it up and made it your own. You didn't say that. That must have been something you dreamt. Like, little things like this were always stated to me because nobody wanted to, or wanted me to understand perhaps the depth of my intuition at an early age. So this could be you as well. You could be somebody who went through that as well. And so eventually you hit this doorway where you realize this isn't working for me, and I'm going to try to do the exact opposite of what I've always done. And that takes some guts, guys. It takes some hard realities, because while you're doing that, you're going to shed the very people who distorted and hurt you throughout your development into that space, right? And that's becoming the Hierophant. It's like, it's unfortunate that it has to come to that space, right? But like, everybody you greet in your life is for a purpose. You either learn, you grow, and you cultivate from them, or you cause pain and suffering, and then that trails behind you until you can figure it out. And and that's all up to you. Nobody's going to do that for you. So that's what this Hierophant is to me, and I feel like it's gonna resonate for some of you as well. Let's see what's in the environment with the Hierophant here. This is a lot of cards. We have the 10 of Wands that came out, as well as the Knight of Discs and the 5 of Wands. I'm going to keep them. This is what's in the environment. So with the 10 of Wands, this is in the environment, guys. So you've been through this, and you have somebody who's really trying hard to oppress you. This card is all about oppression. So on the forefront of it all, there's a lot of oppression. So this could be to do with the base of your foundation, like I spoke about. So they're trying to suppress you from your developments. So from moving forward into joy, finding peace and balance, they're trying to suppress that. They're trying to suppress you and your experiences in regards to your movement forward. This person is in depression, who's creating this in your environment. Depression comes up as well, and this person has a problem with authority. Maybe they're dictating that it's you, creating some sort of disservice for you in regards to maybe mental stability, trying to play upon your mind, cause you distress or discord. I feel like this person's actually experiencing mental discord, and they're the ones experiencing the depression. I feel like they're projecting that onto you, but you're not necessarily experiencing it in the way that they had hoped, and that's causing them to really like strife. The Five of Wands is here, and this is about like it's a flame of controversy. It's like, why isn't it working? It's like competitive forces, right? And the Knight of discs is all about cultivation of crop, right? It's like gaining something from you being in this circumstance of oppression, you being suppressed, and you being in strife. Like this person was going beyond creating, they were trespassing in your business, they were showcasing aggressiveness, they were competing with you, creating competitive forces. They're probably pegging you up against those in their life, maybe new people in their life that they say that they love. They're probably implementing some form of reflection for that person to get some form of neediness towards them. Like, oh, well, so-and-so collective did things like this, but well, you do it like that. It's okay, I guess, like just some form of discord, only to illuminate further oppression for you, because the goal is to create some sort of material gain in their relations, which is what this is all stemming from with the Six of Discs and the devil energy here, gaining some form of control, taking back this idea. And this stems from their childhood, something to do with the mother part of the lineage. I believe something happened in their childhood that has created this contorted idea towards women and or towards feminine energies in regarding material gain, confidence. So that's something. There is something weird about that there. But yes, this Knight of Discs is all about like facing the hard truth of it all. The hard truth of it all is that you've preserved through all of this discord, this oppression, and this strife. Them competing or getting people to compete with you, creating some sort of controversy within a multitude of people who did not even bother to look at your side of things. They just assumed what they were being told was the truth. And this spark created a more aggressive behavior. Dog whistling's really coming to mind. Somebody who knows how to get a rise out of you and utilizes that to their advantage to create some form of outburst. The most fascinating thing in my experience of dealing with someone like this was it's like they say something that's just really against your moral value or beliefs, right? And they know that you are against this. And it's like this understanding that you're going to obviously say something in regards to it with maybe a bit of an emotional tone to it. See, this person that maybe did this to you, if this is an example that is resonating with you, what they didn't understand was that you are actually very emotionally stable because you're able to do this. See, this person was taught that emotions are bad. They were taught that emotions were weakness. So when they encounter somebody who expresses rage or anger or sadness or joy or fulfillment with any of these involvements, it's very hard concept for them to gauge. It makes them uncomfortable because they don't know how to do that. Being mature in your emotions is something that you cultivate over time through experience. And this person that you've been dealing with lacks that experience because they are constantly trying to create some form of master plan to gain control, to gain this idea of confidence, to gain some form of material gain. They've never tried to work hard to do this themselves. Working hard on themselves, reflecting on themselves is nothing that they've ever been taught. They have no idea what that type of reflection is. And instead of it looking at you and understanding that you're actually doing, expressing a normal reaction to a circumstance, it's a normal behavior, and them looking around and creating this, oh my God, did you see their behavior? Did you see how they lashed out on me and got angry? What they don't realize is that there are three people in this dynamic, three groups of people in this dynamic watching. It's likely that when they're getting people to contribute to their understanding of it, those people don't have an emotional understanding. So they're going to have this idea that what they're seeing is the truth of it. But if you're seeing somebody react in any type of circumstance, you have to understand there's a reason why someone's reacting. It doesn't necessarily mean they're overblowing it. A lot of people in society will overlook that, and they're really disengaging the understanding of emotional maturity in this regard. I don't know if that made any sense, but I felt like it will hit somebody properly the way it should have. But yeah, in this particular instance, somebody, I felt, dog whistled you to get some sort of rise, and they kept playing upon these types of interactions over a period of time. So you may have been going through this for quite some time, and it's now coming into a completed cycle. Yeah, it's done. It's been done. It's over with. I feel like the truth of it is now for all to see, is going to be about to be bared for all to see. What's the emotions of this? What are the emotions here for all of this? My left ear is ringing. Oh, protection. Oh, it's interesting because it's like, this card to me is, it's a third party. This to me, it's underneath the Three of Wands. This to me, this card, whenever this card comes out, this is somebody who has trained in something. They have some sort of ability. Excuse me. Let's get a sip of water. Somebody who's brave. Somebody who comes across as like a hero or a conqueror. And I almost feel like this person's in their energy. Maybe this is this. Ooh, in their energy. I meant to say emotions because that's the emotions. Why did I say energy? So this person could be in your energy. I do feel like this is, I want to say high roller. For whatever reason that kept coming into mind, but it's not really correlating properly to my understanding of this card. But this is like a high roller that keeps coming out, so it must be significant for you guys. Somebody who's a conqueror, a hero, a daredevil, effective fresh forces, someone with initiative. I feel like this person is coming in to aid in some sort of circumstance. I do feel energetic, because I did say energy. This person's in your energy, or they're invading your energy, or they're invading your peace, your space of joy. This person, they think that they have a lot of power and affluence. Maybe they do. But they believe that they have this over everybody that they deal with. So there's a bit of an egoic experience in regards to this. These people, or this person, I said these people, could be a multitude of people here, but this person is ready to act. They're ready to take risks. And they're also in the spirit of discovering. So they could be interfering in your energy in ways like invading your personal space, Googling you, looking you up, maybe hiring people to do some research on you also comes to mind. This person's in their emotions, because I think that meeting you, they're not quite, maybe you struck them in such a way that they were not expecting, and maybe it felt like a bit of a challenge. So now they're doing their research to gain some form of understanding of a way to move forward. This person's in their emotions. For some of you, this person is also thinking dangerously about you. A stalker kind of comes to mind. Something about like this person is all about childish. They're very spontaneous and childish. Like they don't think; they just want what desires them, what satisfies them. And there's a lot of unpredictable mood changes in the experience with this person as well. For some of you, this is a personal relationship that you've had in the past, or somebody who believes they've had a personal relationship with you and they haven't. And they're thinking intensely and very dangerously about you. They're in their emotions about all that you've overcome. And this here to me is protection. You're protected. This to me is celestial galactic protection. So there's forces beyond comprehension that are at play right now. It's like divine. This is divinely orchestrated. Everything is supposed to be happening, and there's a due path that's coming into fruition. And this is just over the completion, the Four of Wands card, which is the end of a cycle. So whatever this is the end of a cycle of this type of personal relationship. Somebody trying to cause disharmony to you, or somebody engaging inappropriately, trying to satisfy themselves off your energy. They're in your energy. It's like sex magic comes to mind for whatever reason. That seems to come up a lot lately too in the reads, which is really disturbing. And also the reason why my guides wanted me to say that word, that was kind of funny that slipped out of my mouth. But anywho, there is two types of scenarios that are coming up here in regards to this. So somebody who you've really, what's the word? Sprung them for a loop. Is that the right expression? You put them in a loop. They weren't expecting this type of experience engaging with you, and now they're doing the research. Or you have somebody who thinks they have a personal relationship with you, and they're doing inappropriate things in regards to obtain some sort of energetic experience from you. So that is the emotions, and they can't really get past your force field because you're pretty highly protected. What's the outcome of all this? Yeah, the wheel's turning in your favor. The wheel's turning in your favor. The outcome is the Wheel of Fortune. Every time I see that card, I say, Wheel of Fortune! It's a change. There's a shift. Like I said, you could smell it coming. Success is coming. You're going to be victorious. There's a new life shaping that has been shaped and molded for you, actually, based on the actions of the past. And there's a lot of happiness. There could be some fatal events in the mix here. But you're in your life purpose. You're in your life mission. And this is why you are heavily protected. This is why people can't get past in their old ways. You're not there anymore. You've moved on, and it's time that they learn to do the same. But that's a choice, right? You get to choose how you interact in your life, how you develop and move forward. You come to change in construct, and you change the whole trajectory of your life, or you continue in the same cycle and you learn again in a differing way the same lesson that you should have learned however many times you did it before. Anyways, this is the energy, guys. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. You've got lots of good things coming in. Luck is finally smiling at you. And maybe this wasn't expected. Maybe you still don't know what it is, but you feel it coming. Just know that every dog has its day. That's what this card tends to express. So you may have been the underdog. And now it's time for the wheel to turn, and you're going to rise on top. And this is all fate. This is all driven by fate. Because you realized who you were. And you realized your place and the place of those who were in your life in the past. Those who didn't show up for you. Those who pulled you down, came up against you. You may not have seen it in the time frame when you were the underdog. But you get it now. You've learned. And that's a wonderful space to be in, right? New way forward. This is finding the rightful places, the rightful people. This is even fated events, fated meetings that are going to happen. This is just letting go and let God. Letting it all go and just let everything fall in its place the way it's supposed to. Because it's already been done. It's the understanding that you're valuable. You may not have known that at some point in time in your life, in the construct of all the pain and suffering that you've endured to become this Hierophant. You're here to teach the world something new. You've got a lot of experience under your belt, and you've had a lot of people underestimate you. And I hope you understand that you truly matter in this world, and that everything that has happened in the past was not for nothing. I think you get that now, or at least are coming to the clarity in the calmness that you're embarking now. Because you deserve that. You deserve that clarity. You deserve the calm, the joy, that happiness that cultivates from the understanding of the growth that you've achieved. And this is the message. I hope that it resonated with you. I hope it helped you in some way, shape, or form. And until next time, take care.